Call to order the Community TV Committee meeting for February 11th. We've got a quorum, and I'll entertain a motion to approve the last meeting's minutes from November 13th, 2019.
So move.
Do I have a second?
I wasn't there.
Second.
Oh, right, I suppose not, yeah.
I did read them.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign? Motion passes. Action items for discussion. The new director and board member introductions. So, Jessica, does everybody just want to go around and introduce ourselves and just get reacquainted?
So,
okay.
I'm Tom Ward. I teach interactive media design, which is a video production, animation production program up at Marine Park.
Oh, cool.
So,
see, I forgot that. So.
And Patrick was on our advisory committee, so that's how I got here. Worked over here. So, yeah. So, and he had our students. So, Tom Stoff, does he still work here?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Tom was one of our students.
Yeah, actually, in a little bit.
Okay, so he was one of our students, and we had another student intern here, and we had other students shoot football and wrestling matches and different ones.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
So it was good relationship. So whoever get back involved with that.
Sure.
Well, I'm Jess Wilds. It's nice to meet you all. This is the first meeting I've been to since I started on January 6th. So it's been about 6 weeks, and I'm the Director of Communications Marketing. And I came most previously from the Museum of Wisconsin Art in town here, and worked there for 3 years. I have a master's degree in marketing communications, and have been in various marketing roles in the last 10-15 years, and I'm excited to be here for the city and working with John and Haley and everyone to get word out about West Bend and what's going on, and really position it for success moving forward. So.
My name is John Elke. I'm the production manager for Community TV, so I handle all the video and video work for meetings and behind-the-scenes stuff. I've been here since April, so this is my second meeting that I've gotten to attend to, so I'm the one kind of doing the behind-the-scenes or behind-the-camera work stuff.
I'm Brad Aylesworth. Been on the board for about 6 years now, 5-6 years, and enjoy it.
I'm Warren Arndt. I work for the West Bend School District in the technology department. Been on the board since 2007, I believe, and I enjoy being on it and helping out.
Nice. And
Yeah.
Justice Model, District 7 Alderman, and I've got a barber/beauty shop up in Barton. So, and we've got kind of a new department here, and I think to go along with that, the new name kind of makes sense. But we've got some really good talent right now, so I'm excited about that. Community television producer report.
Sure, that's me. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on what was kind of discussed a little bit last time with the Castus build-out. The Castus build-out has been approved. It was something that we had budgeted for this year, so we just had to kind of wait until this year. For those kind of unfamiliar with Castus, it's really just the back-end stuff that we're using right now for our common council meetings and such like that. It's kind of like the guts of everything in the back. So we're really just purchasing some new equipment to update it. It's kind of needed, in my opinion. Earlier this month, we had a battery go out, which caused our stations to go down temporarily until IT was able to kind of figure everything out temporarily, order us a new battery and everything. So we kind of took that as a good sign of it's probably time. That was a good wake-up call a little bit, but it was approved from Key Code Media, like we discussed last time. The approved project quote came in at $42,112, which was a little bit over what we approved for. In the budget, we approved for $35,000. But to move forward with the project, we simply just delayed the purchase of a new video editing computer for this year to move the funds over to this project temporarily, seeing if it does come in under budget, great. If not, not a huge deal. We had the funds to do so. So it wasn't, the project quote wasn't over budget enough where it was scare us away from the project. The reason it came over project is because the members of Key Code Media are going to be here for 5 days. They're going to be looking at our system and kind of cleaning house a little bit. Not cleaning house in the sense that we're getting rid of everything, but we're getting rid of the unnecessary equipment that we have sitting in the back that's turned off and not being used. The things that we can sell, we will try to do so to gain some extra funds for the project. If there's anything of value, like the system that we're using now, we could probably sell to another municipality. We just got to market it and everything like that, go through proper channels. But that's kind of where we're at right now. The equipment has been ordered. We're in the shipping stages right now, so once it's shipped, the members of Key Code Media are going to contact us for scheduling for, like I said, a 5-day project. So we're going to obviously try and do this when we don't have any meetings going on, and they can really have the back of the room to themselves a little bit. IT is going to be involved through the installation, so they can kind of look at how it's installed and so we can label things correctly, so they know what they're looking at in case there is an issue where they'd have to help us out when Key Code Media is unavailable. Let me see. This is kind of a similar situation, or a similar system to the TriCast unit that we purchased last year that we've been using for graduations and live shoots and stuff like that. So it's all kind of integrated in the same way, works similar. So that's kind of nice for us to have a cohesive unit where we're not bouncing back and forth through 2 different brands and systems almost for our production work. It'll make it a little easier and everything like that on our end. So right now we're just waiting for the items to be shipped. Once they are, a member of Key Code Media is going to be on site to train myself, Jess, and part-timers how to use the system. We're going to kind of get it all set up so our hotspots and everything are set for as far as camera angles and zooms of where they need to go. So it'll be kind of set up similar to what we have now. So it's really just an upgrade of system that we've been planning for a little bit, and we had the area to do so this budget term, so we decided to go for it. So that's where we're at right now with the Castus build out.
How do you say that, Castus?
Castus, yes. And I have some information here I can pass around, just a little bit more detail about the whole thing. This is the project quote that we last received. So if you had any questions, you can look it over a little bit closer. And I'd be happy after the meeting show you guys in the back what we're working with now in case you haven't seen it a little bit. But currently our cameras in the council chambers aren't working properly. They're stuck on a wide angle zoom, so we can't zoom to the proper people when they're speaking or anything like that. We had...
You say it's stuck on a wide?
It's stuck on a wide,
wow, okay.
Which is good.
Yeah, better than the other.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck on one person.
Yeah.
You could just be looking at Hoobister's belly button or something.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice. We were originally going to bring out a company to fix the problem, but looking at the timeline in which we'd have to schedule them to come out here in this project, we decided not to do it and just move forward with the project now. So instead of paying 2 bills, I guess you'd say, for a service fee and then the system upgrade, we just kind of sat at a wide angle right now for our meetings to save money.
So the system is the cameras, the editor, and does it also get you live also?
Yep.
So it does all that in
Yep.
one system?
Yep, which will be really nice. They're going to be working with us as well at the school board office as well to make sure that we're set with that system on this new system too. So we've got it kind of projected in there 2 units for 2 channels and everything like that. So it's the same that we're doing right now. It's just a little bit different system and an upgrade.
So basically all new guts kind of, huh?
A little bit, yeah. And like that room will be kind of cleared
cool.
out. So like I said, I can give you a tour and show you what we're working with now. We're not going to get rid of everything, like I said, but just some of the things that are kind of sitting there like DVD players and everything like that we're not using currently, just to clean it up and
8 tracks.
yeah, get rid of some wires. So
DVD
that'll be
players are
nice.
turning that way.
Right. Well, we'll have all say over what kind of goes out and everything like that. So it's not anything that we'll have to too much worry about, but it'll at least give us some more space back there and give us a little bit new life. So speaking of that, we also had a lot more live shoots and broadcasts this year already. As Warren knows, he's helped us out a lot with the West Bend East, West Bend West basketball games. We live broadcasted those from location this year with the TriCast unit. We broadcast them on Facebook and YouTube, which was really nice. We had one basketball player, while she saw us setting up, she looked at us, she goes, "Coach, I can go home. They're broadcasting it live today. I don't have to stay for the game." So it was kind of nice that they already knew that and saw that. But the boys' game, which we broadcasted our second game, had 2.8 thousand views, reaching 5,403 people. Had a lot of comments in the live video of people reacting in live of the game, which was kind of nice. The girls' game only had 1.7 thousand views over Facebook, but that's only because the second half was only broadcasted over Facebook. We had a technical error on my end that we fixed at halftime, and we were able to get it on Facebook and broadcast it live on YouTube the whole game. But Facebook, we just had a small hiccup. But I mean, it's still 1.7 thousand views and reached 3,376 people just on the second half alone. So we're hoping to do 2 more live broadcasts this year of 2 more basketball games, East and West, February 17th and 18th. We're just waiting to hear on announcer availability to see if that's a possibility.
I'll tell you, for grandparents in Arizona or Florida to be able to watch their grandkids on a live, that's just fantastic.
Yep,
I think that's really cool.
Thank you. It's something that we've been wanting to explore a little bit, and I know we've done it in the past with football and stuff, but it was a lot harder with the equipment that we were using and everything like that. And basketball kind of lended itself to a good test to it, since we're inside and straight plugged into the internet and everything like that. It made it nice, and it seemed like it's been going over well, so hopefully we can do 2 more this season to close her out. Speaking of the views, our video on demand, which is the West Bend VBIT site, it's where people can kind of watch videos after the fact, not live on our channels. We had 676 views this year on our demand site. That's just on the VBIT one. School board meetings hold 3 of the top 6 spots right now, the most viewed this year, with the January 6th one having over 108 views, not including live views of the time it was broadcasted. So this is after the fact. YouTube, we just reached over 100 subscribers, and this past 28 days has actually been very nice for us on our YouTube channel. Our channel's had 1,884 views in the last 28 days, which is about 1,000 to 1,700 more views than average, so a lot more than average of what we're getting right now. We had 153.5 hours viewed this month, which was great, up from our usual 50. And the largest one was the Kewaskum and West Bend West boys basketball game at the Pfizer Forum with 228 views on YouTube.
So is that to say, I pardon my ignorance on this, but is that to say that we've been missing something huge with YouTube, and that's kind of something that people are more tuning into maybe than Facebook or any of that?
No,
or?
I wouldn't say that. I think the video on demand service is great for sporting events and stuff. I think we've been doing a better job of actually promoting the YouTube channel through our Facebook page to get the links out there. So as far as why it's spiking at this particular time, I can't really offer an explanation.
Okay, so it's just a spike.
Because with that being said, our Facebook has been pretty nice as well as far as views. We continued Hey West Bend. They're doing great. We've been introducing guests recently with the Washington County Humane Society. This past week we did Big Brothers Big Sisters, and last week we did the library. So they come in, they talk about a small event that they have going on, or program or of that nature that they can kind of promote that's a little bit different from what we normally do with it. So views are up, and Haley's kind of putting something together right now, but the Adoptable Pet of the Week and month, we've had a lot of success stories of the pets that were featured have been adopted. So
fantastic.
It's been making a nice difference. We've been continuing to do live shoots with just our handheld phones as well through Facebook. Through the last quarter, our largest one was a live shoot of a naval veteran returning home to surprise her brother at the high schools with 3.3 thousand views at the time, which was nice. Business of the Month is doing great. Cousin Subs, our latest one, is on pace to break an all-time view record on Facebook with over 13,000 views. The record's at 13.8. We're hoping to surpass it. It's on pace to at least right now. So.
What makes it more successful than others?
I'm
is
not
it brand
sure.
recognition, or
It might be. I feel like our subject was really a good subject with Keith, Cousin Subs. He has a good following on social media, so that helped. The video I thought was nice, and we just kind of hit a good spot. So It was nice to kind of see. Our December business of the month with Billy Sims Barbecue was also nice because he retweeted it on Twitter, which was cool for a Heisman Trophy winner to share our stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's what we're doing kind of on our social pages and using on demand. So that's what I have for you right now. You guys have any questions for me?
Is this, does it have storage or is it only like?
With the new system?
Yeah.
Yes, it has a little bit of storage. Right now we're operating kind of off of 2 drives that we use, which
Okay.
the storage hasn't been an issue as far as how much we have on there. So we'll still be able to operate with the storage similar to what we're doing now. So we have 2 kind of hard drives in the back. I'll kind of show you a little bit later. But we've had to kind of work with those a little bit as well and reset them. And they're kind of, we had an issue with one where it failed and we lost everything on one of the hard drives this past month. We were able to kind of reboot it and kind of fix it so it popped back on, but when talking with the company they kind of said that's a sign that it's on its way out. And being that it was, and it's not that old, only 2003 I want to say, or maybe even 2007, they said that was pretty old for the system that we were using, at least in that area. So we have storage in that capacity where with our video on demand, with the website, also with the cable channel playback, we could hold a lot of programs to keep.
And then so to prevent these losses, do we back things up now? Is there a way to do that? Or I mean,
Yeah, currently we have 2 hard drives, or at least I work on 2 hard drives on my workspace right now. So one is an active hard drive and then one is an archive hard drive. So on top of the cable hard drive that we're operating with that acts as kind of a backup, we have the one hard drive not connected to the cable channels that's connected to the computer that's kind of used as an archive system right now.
Where are the on-demand videos stored? Are they on those hard drives or are they?
The on-demand, yeah, they're all the same. So the on-demand videos for the websites are just uploaded to their website, so it's kind of all saved there. And right now,
Okay,
what
that's
we
all
have,
right.
Yeah.
we have it
YouTube
set at a
and
certain point where
Facebook.
we're not going to exceed our limit. So videos will be deleted after a certain amount of time, given how much space we have. So years past the road, at least video on demand for the website, certain videos will be taken off as new ones are kind of added on, just so we don't max out our space. We can kind of keep it where it's at. It hasn't been an issue, I'd say. The ones that are taken off are just meetings pretty much replacing each other right now. So it's been kind of a nice workflow.
Thanks. Mark, you want to introduce yourself and just give us a little background?
Well, I'm the oldest fart in the room when it comes to cable TV. I was the first director of community cable in West Bend when it was operated by the school district in the basement of Badger Middle School. When I left that role, I joined the cable TV committee, and I've been here ever since. So I've got a great deal of useless information tucked away up here.
We'll be mining that from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put the channel on the air with 8-hour VHS tapes chock full of dupes of programs. When it started, I had 3 channels, and I had a personal computer doing program listings on one channel, and then I had a 8-hour VHS tape full of community programs that I had dubbed to that tape that I would start on one for community, and then a similar one if I had school programming. And the schools were producing their own stuff. I wasn't doing theirs, but I was doing the school board meetings. We had about 400 pounds of equipment that we took to the 2nd floor of the old City Hall building into the council chambers whenever they had a meeting which we could broadcast live. And we actually had a reverse analog feed into the cable system and a broadcast box in like an electronics rack in a cabinet. So we were putting analog television out. We had 2 cameras, and I had one high school intern or volunteer or something running one of the cameras. I ran the other one, and I did the audio, and I did and made sure the broadcast went out on the air that night live. So I've been doing this since in the days of stone knives and axes, kinda. And of course,
Complicated
compared to
then,
the
too.
technology we've got now, it was really pretty crude and primitive stuff.
Sure,
but
sure.
I'm kind of seen, and I'm always the guy who says, "Okay, are you looking out for the future?" Because Our funding is something that worries me deeply because it's a political football and I don't know where it's gonna land.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to encourage directors over the years who've replaced me to do their very level best to reach out to the community and see about potential sponsorship opportunities for local businesses to step in and help and things like that. Because I'm very concerned that at some point in time the funding could just dry up. However, to the credit of the West Bend city government, they stuck to their part of the bargain, part of the franchise agreement way back in the early days of Riverbend Cablevision, which is what it used to be called.
Okay.
Riverbend Cablevision, we had a slider switch converter that you hooked up to your TV, and we had 35 channels on it. A little bit different than what we got now too. But the city has stuck with reinvesting franchise fee income in what is now community television. Many communities in our immediate vicinity, and I could name names, have let all those funds go to the general fund and fill potholes with them.
Okay. Yeah.
West Bend is unique in that it has made the commitment all these many years since I got first involved, and has built up what we have now, which I think is truly remarkable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Among
we
a lot of
actually have a
communities
budget,
in
yeah.
Wisconsin, we stand out as literally, I think, a leader. And you can compare us to any tech space like Milwaukee or Waukesha or whatever, and their local broadcast capabilities are no better than anything we've got.
Wow,
In many cases, we're far better than they are.
that's awesome.
So it's a credit to the city fathers and the leadership here that they haven't undone the commitment that was made by Mayor Pick way back when, that yes, we're gonna channel our franchise revenue back into helping the community with television services.
And I think you kind of
Very
missed
cool.
the beginning of what John was saying. He's talking about we're getting a whole new system now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, wasn't that something Mike and you worked together on?
Yeah, it was put in
To
kind of
pull
motion,
together?
before I got here, so
Yeah.
it was just kind of the polling point of,
I should say Patrick and.
Yeah.
not- Mike's the previous, before Patrick, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so, you know, that's to our credit that we're gonna have, I think, pretty close to state-of-the-art stuff. And I also think it's incredibly important that city leadership realizes the real value that this provides the community. Because I can tell you, I know from experience, from 25 years, 30 years ago, that if there was something wrong with the city council meeting broadcast, the phones would ring the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Because people do watch
You know
this
when
stuff.
it's not working.
yes.
People do watch this stuff.
Yeah.
It is
That's
important
when
to
you-
our
Yeah.
community. And if you ever have any doubt about that, believe me, you can take my word for it, that it does matter.
I'll try to express that in the next council meeting. Yeah, just when I give a report. Director report.
Thanks. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Nice
I'm
to
Jess
meet you too.
Wild.
Hi,
Hi.
pleasure to meet you, John.
Well, just to piggyback off what you just said, I think it's great that, John does an excellent job, and he has been doing like the live broadcast, and we've got videos on so many different platforms where I feel like it's providing an opportunity for future funders or
Yeah.
sponsors to see like how much exposure they can really get, because not only are they on our channels, they're on demand, and they're on social media, and we have all that data to show to help provide a package in the future to have some sort of either sponsorship or ads or something. So it's definitely been on a topic we've already started thinking about, and I know it's been thought about in the past, and just how we can continue to be sustainable there. So, well, thanks, John.
No problem.
So a couple things. I mean, I've been here about 6 weeks now, and the first few weeks have just really been getting to know every department and how this new role will intersect with them and what they've done and what we can do together now. A lot of work has been done on the social media side of things to just work to streamline and be a little more strategic on what we're posting. And I feel like in January we really had a great month in terms of engagement in social media. We also had a lot of really big news. So I think in the 6 weeks I've been here, I've written at least 6 press releases. We've had an announcement about Milwaukee Tool coming to town in the new TIF district. We've had new hires. We've had some awards in terms of like our finances.
Candidates quitting, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, alderman, you know, always shaking things up.
Right,
So like
right.
it's been a very exciting month or so in terms of the news, and I feel like it's really built. You know, we'll post a video, and then we'll all of a sudden have this big breaking news story, and it's just all really building. And I feel like it's because we're not washing down our page right now. You know, our Facebook page, that is. We're trying to space things out where they'll build off of each other instead of like do the opposite. And that really does take some effort to do so, and Haley's doing a great job with that effort as well. I've been working with several departments on e-communications and streamlining some of the emails that they send out externally, like the administration offices send out a weekly email, and then the Parks and Rec, we've been working on that. And also have completed our first marketing grant that I'm aware of, so that's exciting, and just all the other things. But one of the topics that I spoke with Justice about sort of early on was really the name of our department, and that had come up like so much, just even in the interview process, even just that the name has been sort of a question. Is it the community television department? And it always has been, and maybe it should be the media department, or what should it be? So one of the first items on the agenda is really like talk through it and take the time to explore it. So I did bring a little handout for you, just kind of where we landed. It has some notes on our conversation. So our team met, the 3 of us, and we discussed what it is that we do and what is our purpose. And how is it different from perhaps the past and what it might look like in the future. So the org chart is our new org chart. We do have one that's at the front of our budget, and I can pass that around. And I was kind of basing it off of what that looked like in the past. So this is what it was, and it was just outdated based on our part-time staff and the names and everything. But we went through a really meaningful process and just talking through what it is we think we do well and what it is we want to do more of or less of. And it's probably an ongoing conversation, but in the end we felt that sort of the change in this role and the change in our maybe current and future offerings and roles may need to be a little bit more broad. And so we landed on that where we will be the communications department. And within the communications department will continue to exist community television, in which John is the producer of. So it will be a portion of that department just as social media is and public relations and all of the other areas that make sense to go in there. So you can see some of the other names we considered and talked through, and we just felt we wanted to keep it simple and short. You know, some of the other ones might be a little jazzier, but this really, if somebody's looking to get a hold of somebody who does the work that we do, this might resonate with someone in the public and be easy to get a hold of us in that way and find what they need.
I think I like that you left the word marketing out of there.
Yeah, right now at
I
least,
think
like,
that's a little too direct, you know what I mean? I mean,
Right,
that
it's
is
sort of a
kind of what you're
portion-
doing, but
right,
you don't
just like
really get to
public
say it like that,
relations, you know, communications covers the whole gamut of.
And it doesn't limit it either, yeah. Nice.
So, and you can see some of our notes and just looking ahead and,
The comm team.
yeah,
That's
the
us.
comm
Comm
team,
team.
yeah. So that's, the biggest part of my report is just that, and then we went through that process, and I don't know if any of you have any feedback or questions at all, but feel free.
Communications, I don't get that if I wanted to have something produced, that the media's gone, the media part.
The media.
Uh-huh. So if I, I was like Billy Sims, I wanted to come to the city and say, well, can you produce this, little video for us? And communications, so where's the media part of it?
So I would envision like on the website where it has departments as a drop down, there'll be communications, but sort of within that area on the website, it would sort of branch off into the different areas like we have currently for community television and the offerings that are a part of it. Because we have a lot of things that aren't listed on it currently that we could maybe provide. So I think it would just be a subset,
Okay. All right.
but it wouldn't be gone, that's for sure. So, yeah. Gotta do
You
it.
good?
Yeah, I
Yep,
think so.
okay,
So
awesome.
that's,
Well,
That's
I was just
okay.
seeing if I did have any questions right now, but not really. No, I haven't.
I'd say like probably
An
the
email
larger
for-
focus for me this month has not necessarily been television, though we did do shoots for Business of the Month and they were excellent. And just recently we're working on the Business of the Month for March shoot and so many others, and we're gonna resurrect the city episodes and some of those as well, for social media primarily. But a lot of it's been social media related and just trying to get it in a more deliberate place. So,
You
yeah.
feeling good about the position? Glad to be here.
I feel good so far.
Good,
Yes.
good, good. Well, we're glad you're here. It sounds like you guys are
Thanks.
doing a
It's been
great
fun.
great job. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so what's direct report? My contacts are messing with me right now. Set future meeting dates. Okay, so that's pretty much. Is that really where we're at?
Yeah, unless you guys have any other questions.
That was easy.
I don't know if I can
Great.
speak for Jess, but we're kind of moving along. She's been doing a good job of really getting us kind of back on a good structure. Not that we weren't before, but she's really been a great addition to our department. It's been really a pleasure.
You said something about talking about mission and stuff like that, and I couldn't tell you verbatim what our mission was, but what kind of changes do you feel like you've made to it?
Well, we haven't articulated the mission yet. So I
Okay,
just wanna
you
be
haven't.
sure.
Okay,
No.
gotcha.
So this is the mission currently. I'm happy to send this out if you want. This is what is listed at least on the budget. And what?
I don't think you like it.
Well, I
Oh,
think
well.
that it definitely works very well for specifically cable television, but like all the other things that our team does and that our department is now doing,
Needs to be updated. Yeah.
it does a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, we have a variety of services, including community television. So I think it is worth looking at and exploring, and maybe that'll be a goal for us to work on over the next few months here. But we just wanted, we talked about mission within here and really more talked about, our purpose, what is it that we do and why is it important. But we didn't articulate a new
Right.
revamped mission or anything like that.
Well, as committee
one
members,
step
does
at a
anybody
time.
here have any input as far as that goes? I mean, would you like input as far as that goes?
Sure,
Yeah.
of course.
Could we get a copy of the existing ones and just
Yes.
see what it was to
Yeah.
see where?
That would be.
Maybe discuss it again next time.
Yep.
Sure.
Absolutely. Let's
So
do
can
that.
you kind of leave that an open question for now until the
Yep.
next? Okay,
Of course.
awesome.
Yeah, just plunk it on the agenda for
Yeah,
next time.
yeah, so that's a future
Get us a
agenda
little
item. Any-
background, just to remind
Yeah, give you a
us.
chance to review.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and kind of review what the name change
Yeah.
information you gave us here too, and that give us a chance to maybe ask it more questions. Any other agenda items we might want to consider at this point?
I don't have an agenda item, but another question to John.
Sure.
Mike and Patrick ran, they had a schedule, and then they ran that on like the city channel and the
Yes.
school.
Yeah.
Any more, that's kind of dropped down. I mean, Patrick kind of stopped sending out the the schedules and?
Oh, the schedules are being posted on the website.
Oh, they're on the
Yep,
website
they're on our
now,
program.
okay.
Yep, they were always updated on the website, is where we put them out.
So I even stopped watching the channel. I used to, you know, kind of check the schedule and say, oh, I want to watch that one.
Yep, yeah, it's under our department page right now, so if you
Okay.
go to the community TV department page, it'll be listed for this week and then the week after.
Okay.
That we try and update on Monday
Okay.
morning, so that's for the community and schools channel that we update every Monday morning for
Sounds
everything like
good.
that. Some of it's subject to change based on how
Oh,
everything
sure.
kind of works, but that's
Mhm.
kind of noted in there as well, but.
Okay.
Yep, that's something we've continued, and it's just in that spot on the new website.
All right.
So how do they figure out the business of the month? Is that in the marketing department to figure out who's gonna?
Yeah,
Do
we
that?
actually all sat down a little bit at the end of last year and kind of discussed. And when I say all, Jay, myself, and Jess was there, and then Adam Gitter joined as well. And we kind of presented some different ideas of what we were all thinking based on who we've done in the past and maybe what would be kind of fun to highlight in the year ahead. So we kind of lean on each other's viewpoints as far as through the different roles that we have with the city to see
And
who would be
keeping,
kind of a good highlight for the month. And they don't always work out based on scheduling sometimes, so we always try to have a nice backup list as well that we can kind of refer to just in case something doesn't shake out.
right, and some of the criteria in choosing them is that they're a good community
Mhm.
partner or supporter, when they give back to the community, or they have a, you know, a great following in terms of their own mission and what they do. So, like Cousins is a great example for the February Business of the Month. Keith Novotny gives back and is just very generous with his business and his sandwiches and everything that he does. And he just seems like that video is doing so well, and we believe it's because of his community engagement. Mm.
We've also, I forgot to mention this, but we also set Movie in the Park date. It's our big community television event. It'll be on a Wednesday this year to try and change up some different things that we've done in the past. We put out a Facebook poll as far as the vote, so people kind of vote on what movie they wanted to see. We listed 4 different options of what we got from Swank Media, which, if you guys haven't been paying or not seen the news story yet about Swank Media, they're the company that unfortunately hit that elementary school in California for showing a Disney movie without buying the correct rights with a fee. So that's why we purchased these fees, is so because they will find you.
Yeah.
For sure find you.
Apparently, yeah.
So they're the company we've been using. They're
That's
really
brutal.
great. The price is very competitive. So this year we'll be at Regner Park again on a Wednesday showing Frozen 2. It was a landslide.
Oh, I
Oh,
can
yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
And
We
we
put
have,
Star Wars up against it.
yeah,
And
and
Oh,
not even.
not
Wow,
even close.
really?
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
The-
we
the
thought we
new
might
Star Wars?
explore doing, yeah, the
Frozen Children of Star Wars.
PG-13
Wow, okay.
and
Yeah, and Jess did a great
Yeah.
job of putting it on different platforms of our social pages as far as Twitter and Instagram.
So you got a
And
broad
so-
range of opinions.
We did. We
I
got
did.
different
I
kind of
thought like maybe
responses.
Instagram or something might get something different.
Wow.
And we've been soliciting sponsors for that as well, and have been successful in getting the same sponsors to come back again and continue to support it. And I'm personally just excited that Laughing Mountain Popcorn is going to be a new sponsor.
That's great.
And
yeah.
they have a special frozen popcorn that they already make that
Oh.
just aligns perfectly.
Jeez, yeah, that's awesome.
That's
Right.
perfect.
So it's exciting. I think it's June 24th.
Okay,
Yes.
I was just gonna ask what the J, what the.
Yeah.
It's an event listed on our Facebook page right now for full details.
Okay, June 24th, you said?
Yep, at Regner. Yep, and it's free to the public. So,
Awesome.
Dates.
You look like you got something.
Well, I'm just gonna throw this out there for what it's worth. I see this
Please.
guy all the time because I'm a Chamber of Commerce ambassador and I show up at all the ribbon cuttings as best I can. So whenever we're introducing a new business to the community or a renewing member of the chamber, so, cause that sometimes happens too. We do a ribbon cutting for a company that's been here for 30 years, but they've rejoined the chamber and they wanna make their presence known. One thing I've noticed that I think would be helpful is that's a really good time for you to pitch the story of community television to that business. And I'm thinking you need to have some leave behinds.
Sure.
Some kind of a handout Cause you're running all over the place all the time doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
Every
Like,
time you
who
stick
are
a
you?
camera in someone's face, afterwards you should stick a piece of paper. How would your business want to get involved with our community programming efforts?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think
I
it's
really
an
think
untapped
it's a
resource,
precisely
yeah.
wonderful time to introduce West Bend Community Television and our capabilities to those people.
Sure, yeah.
For what it's worth, and you
That's
should be
great.
able to pull together something pretty quick, I would think.
We've been making a lot of materials.
And you literally give them a little trifold brochure about
Yeah.
television. Yes, we encourage business involvement. Yes, we have opportunities to get this news out.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, we would be happy to come back and do more programming about what you have to offer in our community.
Sure.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a marketing person, I'm a computer technician. So I don't know how to do stuff like that, but I think we have people in the room who are capable.
I suspect so.
I think there are people in the room who have such skills.
Well, and just in increasing the awareness.
Well, and it can't hurt to have a stack of something like that at movie night in the park too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because kids don't come to movies and eat frozen popcorn without parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And parents are the movers and shakers that you want to be communicating your story to.
Sure.
So just for what it's worth,
Yeah.
it's a missed opportunity every time we don't hit somebody with a, yes, you can get involved. Yes, you can, here's how you can get involved.
Yeah.
Call us, send us an email, whatever, let's talk about programming possibilities.
The typical plugs for social media and all that. Yeah, I mean, it just
Yeah.
that just
You
makes a lot
know,
of sense,
honestly, I don't think that would be a big deal to do, and I think it would be a good thing for what's going on here, all the efforts you're putting into this stuff.
Great
And I'll
idea.
get the word out,
Yeah. Awesome.
so.
So you're on it, huh, Jessica?
Right.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
I'm taking my drone's license next Tuesday.
All right.
I thought about that
Does
earlier, and
anyone
I
have
forgot
it
to
now?
ask you about
Is
it.
that-
Yeah.
After Patrick left, does anyone have the drone license?
No, well, Todd Meeks in upstairs, he does right now. So him and I went on a flight for Fleet Farm. It was my first flight. As long as he was with me, we could fly commercially, which was great. So since then, I've been studying and everything like that. So tests scheduled today for next Tuesday. So we should be
Good luck with that.
good to go.
Ready for
Yeah.
spring.
I gotta
Awesome.
take my test. I've got a real pilot's license, but I don't have a drone license, so I could help you out with some of that.
Study.
When I get
Yeah,
old and
like-
retired, like, which is gonna happen any day now, but,
Expensive.
yeah, I could help out as a pilot with that sort of stuff too,
Sure,
because I
yeah.
know most of the rules are ready, I just gotta pass the test.
Oh, then you should.
So.
No problem.
Very good. Well, I think if that's everything, we can adjourn.
Oh, we're just
Oh,
gonna set dates.
set some
Oh,
dates.
set dates. I'm
Yep,
sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
Make sure that the time is right and set a few more dates.
Please,
for
yeah,
the
because we've had
online.
problems in that regard. in the past,
Last
so.
year we had the meeting on May 14th at 6 PM, and the year before we had it on May 8th at 8 PM. I think Brett was working in Mabel at the time, so
Yeah.
we can have a little earlier now.
Are we continuing to feel quarterly?
Yes.
Just,
think
it's just a
That's
little,
what the municipal code says
Yeah.
here to meet court.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, in that
So
case, we'll
was
adjourn
just-
quarterly.
The first week of May, is that a choice of it? Did you say?
We had it the 14th last year, so is that the second Tuesday?
We have our portfolio event, which are that week. So I think it's on the 14th, which is at 13th, 14th. So that if we could do it the
12th is
week
a
before,
Tuesday, yeah.
I'll just throw that out
So
there.
what is the week
Since we're
before
making it.
the
The 5th is a Tuesday, the 6th is a Wednesday,
5th, or
5th or 6th.
I can do the 6th.
I can do whatever, I'm just gonna be here.
Wednesday, May 6th, does that work?
Should,
Yes.
should.
And the time of day?
6, stays at 6.
And next time, could you arrange to have the door open so I can get in?
Oh, no.
You're out there.
That's
I am
why I
so
arrived.
sorry.
I arrived late and the door was locked. I
Remember
arrived at
just I
6
said I
o'clock
gotta make
sharp.
sure the door's
So I was a
open.
minute late for our meeting. I was literally
I
a
got
minute
so-
late for a
Oh,
meeting.
no.
And I had to wait for the police to let me in. That's why I was 20 minutes late, because I was standing outside in the cold.
Oh, no. That's
So
not cool.
I knew I had the date right, the time right, and I walked up to the door and it didn't open.
I'm sorry,
I
Mark.
missed
That's
that.
not cool.
And it's because the police dispatcher, whoever's responsible for such things, says it wasn't on the schedule.
That's right,
No.
yep, it was a
So I'm going-
miscommunication, can you
I
believe
would have been
that?
here for the whole time had somebody let me in.
Sorry.
That was
Well,
weird.
we're glad you got here eventually. So everybody's okay with Wednesday, May 6th at 6 p.m.? Okay.
We just do the next meeting, or do we wanna do the whole year? Or is
Well,
that
we
too
only meet
far?
a few times. If
Yeah,
we're able to
exactly.
just
Okay.
pick,
Yeah.
like
Might as
3
well.
months later is
Sure.
August.
We can always review them at each meeting.
Well, if nothing else, send out invites for each
Yeah.
one individually
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
people
the
can
invites
choose
work
to
well.
say not gonna work or yes, gonna work.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that way you've got that challenge taken care of right away.
Sure,
So,
sure.
So do we like that first Wednesday? I mean, we could just do August 5th, Wednesday at 6. Is that all right? Wednesday good?
Yep.
Wednesday, August. Jeez, August 5th. 6. Oh, always at 6, right? Okay.
Works for everybody, right?
Just, I work till 6, but I happen to be my own boss, so I can leave early.
And then if we're
Sneak
continuing
out
with
on
that
it.
same schedule, it'd be November 4th. First.
That's pretty close to the election.
Election,
It is,
yeah.
maybe
Oh,
November 11th?
Be better.
Kinda too-
Okay,
Is it-
November.
It's a Wednesday.
Okay,
See,
move
the
it.
third would have.
Are we-
Is election
Are we
day,
changing it
right?
to
The
Wednesday?
third.
Presidential,
Tuesday?
that's major.
That's gonna be nuts all around here, yeah.
If you wanna do it a week later, that'd be great.
Much better.
Okay, so that's a Wednesday too. Okay. Gotta get my head picking on Wednesdays now.
And the calendar invite thing works great, I
That
think.
does, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Jess will be
doing
taking that over.
Well, that, no, I think that's an excellent way to do it because
Yeah.
it's automatically in my,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's helpful to have that in there.
so.
Cool.
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign? Motion carries.
It's nice to meet you all.
Nice
Thank
to
you very
meet you.
much.